name is Aisha Bennett, and I am the owner and founder product designer of Nice Cream Butters, based out of Chandler, Arizona, established in 2018. Honestly, I just, I have sensitive skin. So when I tell you I've tried everything that there is, and not to say that the products are bad, but I just wanted to try to see if I could come up with something better than the stuff that I had been using over the years. So I think I succeeded. I didn't want something that says, oh yeah, it's great for eczema, but it has water and alcohol in it. Not so great for eczema. Or, something that said, hey, it's going to help moisturize your skin. But there again, there's a bunch of chemicals in there that I can't pronounce. So I wanted something that was simple, that only contained the bare minimum products required to get the desired outcome of what I wanted for my skin. Oh, wow. I was scared. It can be a bit intimidating when you're on social media or even in the stores and you see all these different product lines that, pride themselves in plant-based and all natural. And when you go on there, this is a very robust business. So there's a lot of different people that are doing, plant-based products. And I was just like, oh man, what am I going to do? Where's my niche? How am I going to get in there? How am I going to stand out from the rest? And I just had to tell myself, it's not about standing out from the rest. I just need one person to like it. And then from one person, maybe two people to like it. So if I go from having the goal of just one person liking it a day, I'm happy. I didn't. I literally did not. I took my earnings from my corporate job, and I can recall the weekend like it was yesterday. I think I only had maybe $150 in my account, but I was so geeked because I had been reading for the last 3 weeks prior. Okay, this is what I need. I did my research on where I got to go get the supplies. How do I have to get them? Do I have to order them? Do I need to go to a store? I was so excited. I took my $150. That's all I had left to payday, the next payday. And I think I spent $75 on everything and just went to work. I had a hand mixer and I just went to work. Okay, so all my products are plant-based. Well, I'll take that back. The majority of my products are plant-based because certain products like my bath tea, you can't not add something in it to make bubbles. So that would be a 98% situation. But the majority of my products are all plant-based. My flagship product is mango butter, which that was all I did. All I used: mango butter, avocado oil, jojoba oil, cocoa butter. But then I discovered people have allergies to stone fruit. So stone fruit would be anything that kind of has a pit in the middle of it. So like avocados, mangoes, all the things that I was using. And I said, you know what, I probably should offer up and have a selection because, well, I know what's great for my skin may not work for your skin. And I didn't want to silo the business into just being specifically mango butter. So now I offer the choice of a mango butter base and a shea butter base. And then I also have a combination of a mango butter and a kokum butter, which is kind of like an in-between. If you don't want something that's as thick as shea butter, but you need something that's heavier than a mango butter, then you could use the mango kokum butter combination. So I do the body butters, of course. I have the whipped sugar scrubs. I have the beard oil because I also do men's products as well. And then recently got into the facial care, so I do my activated charcoal face cleanser along with the face butter. And I have the bath tea, which is my bubbling bath salt. And I absolutely love it, not just because I make it, but what separates it from the other type of bath botanicals is the fact that you could put it in a tea bag and it still makes the bubbles and still conditions the water, but you don't have the mess after you get out the tub. I try to research my ingredients. I don't just go willy-nilly because, again, skincare is not a one-size-fits-all type scenario. I can do what I know works for me, but it may not work for you. But I try to do something to where anyone who's looking at it would say, oh, okay, this is what I might need. I make a strong point not to make any efficacy claims on my products. For example, I'll never say, oh, that gets rid of eczema. I'm not a doctor. I'll never say, oh, that gets rid of acne. I'm not a dermatologist. But what I can say is, given these ingredients, given these essential oils and their natural properties, it can help with this type of scenario. It can help alleviate that skin condition. So I think that's important. Me, of course. Not to sound, kind of, on the high horse, but there are if you look on YouTube, if you look on any type of social media, you're going to find tons of recipes on how to do things. I can have the same recipe and you can have the same recipe, but it can turn out differently because the one ingredient that separates those two recipes are you and I. So how I make my products may be a little bit different than how someone else would make their products. And I like to pride myself and say that what separates me from other businesses in my category is me. I do more research. Well, not more research. I do research. I make sure what I'm using is going to be beneficial. I don't just throw stuff in there because, oh, it looks pretty, or, oh, this is going to smell good. What is the reason behind it? So just how you asked me, what does activated charcoal do? I can tell you what activated charcoal does. Yeah. Same thing if you ask me, well, what's the difference between a mango butter and a shea butter and a kokum butter? I can tell you what the differences are as far as the texture. I can tell you what they benefit the skin for. I can tell you where they come from versus, well, I just heard it was good for your skin. My family and my customers. There has been times where I just am like, maybe I'm not doing enough, or am I in over my head? And then right when I start to feel that way, not to get all, spiritual or whatnot, but God is amazing. And as soon as you start to feel like you can't or you should stop, He puts something in front of you that shows you, nope, this is what you need to do. And I can't tell you how many times, like it happened just last week, as a matter of fact, where I was like, maybe I should just take a break. Maybe I need to start scaling back. Maybe I should just kind of fall back a little bit. And then ironically enough, I got a review from a customer who was like, this is the best thing ever. I've been looking for something that's just plant-based without a whole lot. You asked me about the interview, and it was just things like that. That's like, okay, nope, I can't stop. Got to keep going. Mm-hmm. I hear you loud and clear, God. I'll keep going.
People are wanting more from you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Exactly. And my family, they're my biggest supporters. I mean, I have a small family of friends. It's just myself, my son, my fiance, my daughter, and then I have the two best friends ever that a girl can ask for. And both my parents are deceased, so we're just out here by ourselves. But I mean, they really keep me and push me going, keep me going. And I'm gonna cry. I'm trying not to cry. But they when I start to doubt myself, they push me. It's like, no, you're doing fine. Like this is amazing. This is, we're your cheerleaders. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what keeps me going. Well, clearly there's been, I've had to kind of really push hard on my social media presence. I can't just rely on local things prior to like flea markets or farmers markets because all that's been closed. So for me, it's been more so trying to boost my online presence and trying to make sure that things like offering pickup. I give customers that live in the local area, they really want to get the product, but they don't want to pay for shipping. I have a promo code that I give to them and say, hey, when you're ready to order, let me know, use this promo code and I'll deliver it to you, or we can meet. Just having to really work more so online versus in person. And that could be challenging too, because people don't know you per se, right? Versus when you have that face-to-face interaction, they're able to touch, feel, smell, and understand what the product is. So you find yourself having to invent, in my business anyway, sort of like a smell-o-vision effect, where you have to be very descriptive and you have to kind of keep putting this image in your head of this is what works for your skin. This is what this does. This is what this smells like. I'd have to go back to my very first event, and that was in it was at Scottsdale Quarter in Calvin Klein. And when I sold my first butter, it was just like, oh, it happened. It was just like, wow, like somebody else has on something that I made. That was like, I don't know, it's because it's like, you just need one person, and that one person bought my product. And I was so excited. And now I fast forward, almost 2 years later, because it'll be 2 years in October, where I'm like, man, I can't believe somebody bought that, because this is much better now than what it was then. Because it's a constant learning process, and you have to remain innovative. So that was probably my most satisfying moment. Don't give up, and there's nothing that you can't do yourself. When I tell you, I went into this whole shebang thinking, oh my gosh, I gotta get people to help me, and I gotta have somebody build my website, and I gotta go to a printer to have them custom design my labels, and you can do all of it yourself. It is hard. You don't know that at first, and you just got to keep going. And it's so funny that people will really, they'll DM me on Instagram, and some of them are kind of like, oh, I don't want to ask you because I don't want you to be offended. I'm like, no, I love it. I don't mind, because someone had to help me. And there's been times where I've asked questions of people, and they just like, I'm not going to tell you that because then you're going to make the same product I make. Well, not really, but okay, I'll figure it out. So I try to be the blessing to other people that no one was to me. And I have to find my way. So when people ask me questions like, hey, how do you get your scrub to look like this? I tell them, because it's nothing that they can't go research. But in their research, they came across me. So why would I not help them? More exposure. And now people appreciate the fact that they don't have to go online to buy it, and they don't have to pay for shipping. They can go to a store. And of course, I always get the not necessarily mean email like, oh my gosh, why didn't you warn me and tell me there were so many other cool things there? So I spent way more than I planned on. But I think my customers in particular enjoy being able to go to a storefront and pick up something. They don't have to wait, and they don't have to wait for shipping, and especially if you're local, nationwide, we understand, but local, they love it. The obvious one would be racial harmony. If I had one wish, racial harmony and racial equality, because it's one thing to harmonize, is to be happy and singing, everybody's in sync, but racial equality, right? So there shouldn't be true racial equality. There should never be anything that someone can't get because of the color of their skin or because of how someone's perceived. It should be based upon their merits. It should be based upon their abilities to pay, maintain, whatever the case may be, but never ever should it be the color of their skin. If you have a dream, something that you wanted to do and you've been putting it off, don't put it off. If nothing else, us trying to get through this pandemic and survive, what it's taught us is that tomorrow isn't promised. Anything could happen to any one of us. Don't wait. Just go out there and get it, because you can do it. You just need one person, and that one person is you.